Let's do this.
I'm giving it up.
Welcome to the Big Blast Watch So don't eat me, bye.
Yes, welcome to our Thanksgiving edition of the
Y'all
Big
wrong.
Little Sports Review Show. And that is Sebastian's turkey.
Thanksgiving.
So we got a lot of sports going on right now. So we'll start off with the local. We had the USL League One Championship this weekend.
Greenville got blown out 3-0.
Yeah, unfortunately, Greenville triumphed. We're not triumphant. this
Well,
time.
hey, we still have gone to 3 straight championships in a row.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So, give it up for the Greenville triumph. Good try. We're still proud of you guys. Let's do it again next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really wasn't much of a game the whole time. It was dominated by Omaha, who finished the year.
For the
as
first
one seed.
20 minutes, it was like meh, not that bad. But then after that, it started getting out of hand.
Yeah, it was getting out of hand. So, congratulations to Omaha. We also had Sebastian. You had couple other special things you wanted to mention. What do you got?
First off, NC State wins our first ever cross country. Let's
Good
go
job,
Wolfpack though. The Wolves were running the whole time. I don't know if they were actually running the whole time. I'm just
Well, if they
saying.
won the championship, I'm assuming that they were running the whole time.
Yeah. Next off, the Washington Spirit also winning their first ever championship in the NWSL, the National Women's Soccer League. Go Spirit. They truly have a spirit of victory.
They do.
Puns.
Good
Hashtag
job.
puns.
And then on to national news. College football. Obviously, it's college football season. Some big games this weekend.
CFB.
Some big games and big duds, right? Like, Michigan State, Ohio State was supposed to be a big game this week.
Yeah.
But that
Not even close.
was over from kickoff. Like, it was
Not
already over.
really.
I mean, it really was over from kickoff, but because
Actually, it was really over after just like the first 5 minutes.
yeah, it was
Michigan
so.
State was already down like 14-0.
The final score was Michigan State 7, Ohio State 56. No, that wasn't much of a game. This was supposed to, both of these teams are in the top 5 in the college football. We're in the top 5 college football rankings. Those come out tomorrow. I assume that Michigan State will not be there anymore.
Michigan State.
The other dud was Utah and Oregon. So that one was not even close either.
Oregon power rank. Oregon's spot in the college football playoffs is gonna go kaput.
Yeah, so
Kaput.
they, so Oregon lost 7-38 to Utah. So that now actually sets them up to have to win this week. But so that was Utah. It was 21-0 I think in the first quarter.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that they jumped on them early and quick, and that was a big surprise.
However, the second half wasn't entirely a blowout. I checked the scoring. Utah only scored 7 in the second half. Oregon at least scored a field goal. Or their touchdown.
Yeah, and then there was also Wake Forest and Clemson. The Wake Forest has been kind of reeling lately as well.
Boing.
Had a big loss. Yeah, big loss a couple weeks ago to UNC, and had a chance to clinch the ACC Atlantic this week, but couldn't do it against Clemson. They lost 27-48. So Clemson pretty much dominated that game.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately for the rest of the ACC, Clemson looks like they're getting it together, and
Yeah.
I don't think anybody wants to play Clemson right now.
Nobody.
So, with that now, Wake Forest has a game lead on both NC State and Clemson. So, if NC State and Wake Forest lose this weekend,
And Clemson win.
that would give Clemson a 7th straight trip to the ACC championship game.
And that would be kind of irritating.
So, me personally, I'm hoping for Wake Forest to win this week and kind of.
Clemson's division has been Clemson, Clemson, Clemson. The Atlantic, I believe, the other division in the ACC, they're always going around crazy. No
Yeah.
team in the last couple of years has
The
won
Coastal?
it twice in a row.
Talking about the Coastal Division?
Yeah, the Coastal. Nobody has won it twice in a row in the last 10 years.
Yeah, so that brings us to the Virginia Pitt game, which Pitt clinched the Coastal this weekend by beating Virginia 48-38. So, like you said, we got another new ACC Coastal Division champion. So Pitt will be waiting on this weekend to see who they'll be playing.
Yeah.
Who do you think that's going to be they're going to be playing in the ACC championship game?
Tough. I think that Wake Forest, even though they had that great undefeated start, I don't think they're gonna make it. So that narrows it down to NC State and Clemson. I think Clemson would, unfortunately, be the Pittsburgh opponent in the championship.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past it. It could happen. I still think Wake Forest is going to get it. They play Boston College, who is last in the Atlantic Division. So.
Oh, I did not know that schedule. That's the only reason why I chose Clemson.
So do you want to change your pick?
Yes, I want to change it to Wake Forest. I did not know who.
All right, there you go.
Playing.
So
I did not know who Clemson was playing, and I did not know who NC State was playing. So I did not know what on earth was happening. I was just taking it by the records and the scores.
Well, so that's the big highlights of the college football weekend. The NBA, Phoenix Suns, they're picking up from Western Conference
They're
champs.
balling.
Yeah, they've been balling. They've won 12. They're on a 12-game win streak after starting the season
Super
1-3.
long.
Yeah, after starting 1-3. So they're down a game and a half behind league-leading Golden State Warriors, who are 15-2.
15-2.
Yeah, so they just lost recently, but they've won actually 4 in a row now. But Phoenix is starting a 4-game road trip starting tonight.
Road trip.
Road trip. So we'll see how this road trip goes for them. They're going to start it with San Antonio, and they're going to end it with Brooklyn on Saturday night on TNT. Check that out. So we'll see if they can continue the win streak. What do you think? Think they're going to be able to pull off 4 games in a row on the road?
I don't know. I think that they'll be 3-1 on the road. Even though I don't know the 2 games in between San Antonio and Brooklyn, I'm going to guess that they go 3-1, winning San Antonio and the 2 other teams, and then they lose to Brooklyn on the road. Brooklyn's a really good team. The originally New Jersey Nets.
That's what I think. I like that. I think they're going to lose 1 as well on the road, but I wouldn't put it past them if they win it and take it to 16. That would be pretty cool too.
That would be pretty impressive.
Yeah.
For the 4-game road trip.
Then we had the NFL yesterday, so we had a good week Sunday of NFL. We had Indianapolis and Buffalo. Indianapolis won 41-15.
Blowout.
Yeah, they blew them out, which Buffalo's been struggling lately. So
Yeah, they start as the league's best defense, having 2 shutouts. By the time that the Tennessee Titans game came around, they had 2 shutouts, and the rest of the league only had 1. I forgot what it was, but...
And they've pretty much returned all their starters from last year, so it's pretty surprising that they're struggling. They were, I think, 12-4 last year. I think they finished the season, so it's surprising.
Kind of like a person aging. At first they're a child. I'm a child and I'm so flexible. And then they're old and they're like, oh, I got too much.
So with the Bills struggling, don't look now, but guess who's in the lead in the AFC East?
The Patriots.
The
Mac
Patriots.
Jones and the Patriots.
Bill Belichick and the Patriots again.
If I if Tom Brady was still there, I would not like it. But since Mac Jones is in there, I want Mac Jones to be the first rookie quarterback to win the Super Bowl. That has never happened in NFL history.
Yeah.
So you're just automatically taking him there.
Yeah. Other than the NFL's first game, other than the NFL's first championship.
Game ever. Yeah.
Yeah, technically.
So technically, there has been a rookie quarterback to win the championship.
But that's because it was the first
year
year.
ever. Yeah. Another one that was a surprise was Houston beating Tennessee 22-13.
Mind you, the Texans had not won since week 1 against the Jaguars. They were 1-8. Now they're 2-8.
Yep. So that was a big surprise. Tennessee, I think
They were
Tennessee is
8-2.
starting to feel the effects of not having Derrick Henry
Yeah.
at running back. So.
And for Indy, they are just feeling the effects of Taylor doing his best.
Yeah. Well, so back to the Indianapolis Buffalo game.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor scored 5 touchdowns. Whoever had him on fantasy football, I hope you won because that was probably a lot of points.
And fun fact, the Colts are 6-0 when Taylor rushes for over 100 yards. They are 0-5 when he doesn't.
Well, I think that shows you the importance of a rushing game in the NFL. Like,
Yeah.
usually if your running back is averaging over 100 yards a game, you're controlling the time on the clock, you're controlling the ball. The other team's getting less opportunities
And
to
that's
get a
just
touchdown.
all good.
Yep, so that's all good things. And then last, the other big game, supposedly was going to be a KC Dallas game, but Dallas, thought they would probably put up some points, but Dallas lost 9-19 to Kansas City. So, although there wasn't the big fireworks you would have thought would have come from that game,
Yeah.
KC is quietly but not quietly now getting back to that top team in their league. They're now leading their division, not far, maybe a couple games out from the.
Just so you know,
And
on
that's
Sunday,
one seed.
on Sunday Countdown, here's something they said. The Cowboys have something the Chiefs lack.
What's that?
A nice saying. How about 'em Cowboys?
Oh.
The Chiefs don't have anything.
Hey.
How about them Chiefs?
I think the Chiefs will take their Super Bowl championship over their phrase, but
Yeah.
we'll see. So that's all the games we have for you this week. Now let's talk about what's coming up. Games in college football is
OSU at Michigan.
yeah, that's a big one. So that's the winner actually is going to win the Big Ten East. So we'll see. Who do you like in that one?
I like OSU.
You know, Ohio State's going to pull it out.
Yeah, even though it's gonna be played probably at freezing cold temperatures.
Well, actually, I think might not be too bad. I was looking, it's going to be a noon game. So
Oh.
It's probably still going to be cold in Michigan, but at least it's a noon game.
Yeah.
Both schools are used to that cold weather anyways.
Yeah.
But Ohio State has been dominating teams lately, so I think you're right. I'm pulling for Michigan. Jim Harbaugh, come on, man, you can do it. But unfortunately, I do think Ohio State's going to pull it out. And then Oregon, they put themselves in a winner-take-all in the Pac-12 North when they're playing Oregon State this weekend.
So
The Civil War is what they call
the
it.
Civil War. That happened earlier this year with Michigan and Michigan State.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna be a battle of Oregon.
The Beavers versus the Ducks.
Beavers and Ducks.
And then there's also Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. So that's what you'll notice that a bunch of these games are just last week of the season is usually rivalry week. It's usually interstate rivalries and stuff playing. So like you have the Oregon game, and then now you got the Oklahoma State. And,
Oklahoma
yep.
State.
So this one's kind of got a couple implications because if OU wins, there'll be a rematch the very next week of the same game.
Which would be kind of ironic. Like, week 12. What are the two teams again?
Oklahoma and Oklahoma State.
It's gonna week 12, Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. Week 13, Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State.
Yeah. And then if Oklahoma State wins, they'll play Baylor in the Big 12 championship game because Baylor beat Oklahoma, and that would mean Baylor and Oklahoma would be tied, and of course Baylor would get the tiebreaker because they won.
Yeah.
And then obviously, would it be in our Thanksgiving edition of Big Little Sports Review Show?
Thanksgiving.
There's a Thanksgiving football for everyone. So we have Chicago at Detroit. That's probably not going to be that great of a game.
No.
So,
Fun fact: the Detroit Lions, as the Portsmouth Spartans, played the first ever Thanksgiving game versus the Dayton Triangles.
Triangles.
They were named.
Yes,
Dayton
their
Triangles.
real name was the Dayton Triangles. There was a team named the Dayton Triangles.
They sure did have some silly names back in the days.
And the Panhandles.
Are they from Florida?
No,
The
they're from Ohio.
Florida Panhandles? I guess like.
Handlers, probably.
Or like mining, like the pans when you
Yeah.
mine
Yeah.
for stuff maybe.
The NFL has some wacky history.
And then obviously you have Dallas, who always hosts one as well. They're going to be hosting Las Vegas. That one should be a pretty good game. That one should be, an entertaining game, I would say.
Both are on a little bit of a skid, but
Yeah.
still they're both doing really well.
I like Dallas to finish to win, but it should be entertaining nevertheless. Then the night game
But don't be the commentator. Don't have the commentators curse on the game.
is
Hopefully, this game won't be like as caca-ish as the Dallas Kansas City game.
Oh yeah. So hopefully there's more scoring, more entertaining.
Yeah.
One game that might be more scoring is Buffalo at New Orleans at 8. That's the night game. So Buffalo needs to kind of get it going, get it back going in the right way. And New Orleans has a pretty good defense, so I expect that one to be pretty competitive as well. What do you think?
I don't know. I think that both have stifling defenses, and both might bring each other down a lot.
Do you think it's gonna be
Usually,
low scoring?
somebody who's like, "Oh, I am new to football. I don't know what on earth football is." They would say that it would probably be a very tight game because of their records. But when you look at their defenses, they're both really good defenses. So I think that this game will be less than 30 points overall.
Yeah, it could go that way. Then as we roll into the weekend, you got the 8-3 Tennessee Titans at the 7-4 New England Patriots, who are on a roll, and so I think, man, the way the Patriots are playing, I have to take the Patriots on that one at home.
I totally take the Patriots.
Yeah, and then
Honestly, at this point, it seems like the Dolphins didn't even deserve that Week 1 win.
yeah, well, yeah, they could. I mean, bringing that up, like they could easily be 8-3 right now because going back to that Week 1 loss to Miami, which obviously Miami has turned out to not be that good this year.
Yeah.
It was actually a fumble by New England that sealed the win for Miami, so they could easily be 8-3.
Too bad you said though.
Yeah. But then you also have the LA Rams and the Green Bay Packers, 7-3 Rams and 8-3 Packers, so that should be a good one.
The Rams are looking to ram into the Packers, but the Packers are looking to pack up and send off the Rams.
Yep.
Puns.
And this one, we're probably going to see more of Odell
Yeah.
Beckham Jr. this week. So he signed with the Rams right before the Rams went on a bye week. So we'll see what he can do. Hopefully do good things because we have him on our fantasy team.
Yeah. Odell Beckham.
And then last but not least, MLS playoffs are going on right now. So that's probably, if you're a soccer fan or want to...
Competition for the MLS Cup.
Yeah, so MLS is the Major League Soccer, the highest, rated or highest level of soccer
In the U.S.
In the U.S. So their playoffs have began. So check that out.
Also, Here's a little fun fact for people who are new to the MLS. They actually have 2 competitions per year. No, I'm not talking about the preseason. Mid-season, they have a tournament going on that counts towards records, and it's called the Lamar Hunt Cup. I don't know if it's the same Lamar Hunt who started the AFL, which later merged with the NFL to become the AFC, because that would be pretty ironic.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I would assume maybe, but let's check that out.
But it's the Lamar Hunt Cup.
Actually, the NBA had talked about doing something like that, an in-season tournament.
The WNBA does that too, the Commissioner's Cup.
That's cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed our show for today. Again, check out those games that we talked about. Hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving and have some good food like we will, hopefully.
Hopefully.
It's an experiment.
Yeah.
And that's the Big
Little
Sports Review Show.
Bye, y'all.
Gobble, gobble.
They laugh at me and they say I'm going too far, but it's satisfying my soul to give you my all. They don't understand what I got is so real. They can talk about me, they can kick me out, but can't take away what you give. People telling me that I'm probably too far gone, but they don't understand where I've been and they walk the roads that I walked on. Tell me who I'm gonna call on. What solid ground can I fall on? You everything that I never dreamed of. You give me meaning, it's all on you. You know you got me deep up in this thing, I'm all in. I swear ain't no love like this love that I've been giving. I can't resist, it's just too much, your love is endless. And I don't care what they say no more.